The old Victorian house creaked with secrets. 10-year-old Ethan, small for his age, felt swallowed by its shadows. He missed his father, his laughter echoing in their old sunny apartment. Now only silence, broken by the tick-tock of the grandfather clock in the hall. His mother Julia seemed happy, though. Radiant even. She had married Edward 6 months ago, a man with eyes that glinted like polished silver, a smile that never reached them. Edward, a man of wealth and influence, showered Ethan with expensive toys, but there was something about the way he looked at Ethan, something cold and calculating. Ethan felt a shiver run down his spine. He pushed his dinner around his plate, his appetite gone. The food, usually his favorite, tasted bland, metallic. Edward, at the head of the table, watched him, that unnerving smile playing on his lips. "Eat up, Ethan," he purred, his voice smooth as silk. "You need your strength." Edward paced his study, a fire crackling in the hearth, casting flickering shadows on the walls. His study, filled with leather-bound books and the scent of old money, was his sanctuary. It was here, amongst the shadows and secrets, that he hatched his plan. Ethan, the unexpected obstacle. The will was ironclad. Upon Julia's death, her entire estate, a vast fortune, went to her son. He had thought of contesting the will, but it was watertight, drafted by the best lawyers in the state. No, there had to be a cleaner way, a permanent solution. An idea, dark and insidious, began to take root in his mind. He knew a man, a chemist, who could procure certain substances that could end a life quickly, quietly, leaving no trace. An accident, it would have to look like an accident. Ethan felt a growing unease. His stepfather's behaviour, always unnerving, had taken on a new intensity. He caught Edward watching him at odd hours, a strange, almost hungry look in his eyes. The metallic taste in his food persisted. He started having nightmares, vivid, terrifying dreams of being trapped, suffocating in the dark. One evening, Julia was away on a business trip, leaving Ethan in Edward's care. The dining room was lit by a single chandelier, casting long, grotesque shadows on the walls. The food, as always, seemed to gleam under the light, the smell making Ethan nauseous. "Just a little more, Ethan," Edward insisted, his voice a low murmur. Ethan pushed the plate away, fear constricting his throat. "I'm not hungry," he whispered. Edward's eyes narrowed, a flicker of something dark and dangerous in their depths. "Ethan!" Edward's voice, sharp and cold, cut through the tense silence. "Why are you being so difficult?" He reached out, his hand gripping Ethan's arm, his fingers like iron clamps. Ethan flinched, a small silver bracelet, a gift from his father, glinting on his wrist. Something shifted in Edward's eyes. Shock, then a flicker of fear. He let go of Ethan as if burned, his face suddenly pale. "Go to your room, Ethan," he stammered, his voice hoarse. "Now!" Ethan didn't need to be told twice. He fled, his heart pounding in his chest. He didn't understand what had just happened, but he knew, with a certainty that went beyond his years, that he had just escaped something terrible. He didn't know that the bracelet, a gift from his late father, a renowned chemist, contained a powerful antidote, a silent guardian against poisons. He didn't know that his fear, his refusal to eat, had just saved his life. The old house creaked, its secrets safe for now. But in the shadows, a different kind of fear festered. Edward, his plan foiled, his face a mask of rage and terror, knew that he had just made a dangerous enemy. The game, it seemed, had just begun.